I'm off screen. Oh, oh. Hello, hello. Let me see. Thank you for the check-in, Kontosho and Weetabix and Ripko and Gran. And hello, Kontosho. Hello, Gran. Hello, Weetabix. Hi. I hope you guys are doing good. Final stream before I go travel for the rest of the week. Yeah, yippee. Yippee. Oh my gosh. Right before I started, I live in an apartment and I have a neighbor. We share a wall and like there's a kid. There's like young kids that live there. And this kid, he screams quite a bit. He screams pretty often, but he's young, so I'd go like whatever. He's a little kid. Little kids scream. But like just right now, he just like had the mega ult. Like I've never heard him scream like this before. He just like ripped the biggest fattest scream of all time, and he just also started cursing. And I never heard this kid curse before because I think he's like 7. He just like said F you piece of crap. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on over there? Are you guys, is the family doing okay? He's ulting and cursing. It sounds like he's calmed down now, but never heard that. Never heard him like that before. You're doing good. That's good to hear. Drinking water? I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. I will actually take a sip of water right now. Oh my gosh, he's doing it again. He's saying peace. He's saying F you. Goodness. What is going on? Oh my gosh. That poor kid. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you guys won't hear it. And it's not even like... It doesn't really bother me most of the time. I just, like, have headphones in. And so, like, I don't even, like, get bothered. And I don't get mad. I know, like, sometimes people hate apartment living because of the fact, like, you know, they hear the kids and they can't, and they want to just, like, bang on their wall and go, shut up. But I feel like I try to be kind to, you know, I mean, what can you do? Like, you have kids. Sometimes they just yell. It just be like that. Okay, so my pen does not want to work right now. I don't know why. I wonder if it's because... I'm restarting my tablet. I was cursing now. I have to self-censor here because I'm someone who curses normally, not every other sentence. Oh, it's not that I don't mind cursing or any of that, but I'm just not someone who tends to curse that often. I just never, like, grew up usually doing that. No one even, it's not even like something I was like told like, hey, don't do that, that's bad. It's just like, it's just never been in my vocabulary. And also like I find the alternative words just funnier to say, like saying frickers. Like, oh, what the frick? What the frick? I say frick a lot. And that's not to say you can't say the actual word. I just like saying frick. Hi, thanks for checking in, Bardine. I don't know why my pen's not working. And my tablet's just not working in general. Peculiar. Very peculiar. What the frick? Okay, It's working with... the buttons aren't even working either. What the Sigma? What the Sigma? I was understanding you wouldn't like it. I mean, I'm not gonna tell someone to like if it's out of control, I'll be like, hey, you know, buddy, like maybe we can use different vocabulary. I may, I like if you're just using them as general words, it's usually fine. But like when you start like describing people using like certain words or like placing a lot of negativity, then I just start going, okay, like let's take a step back. When people start throwing the words to others, that's when it's like, yeah, that's when it's like, okay, let's not do that. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my pen. We're troubleshooting. We're having technical issues, but that's okay. I'll just keep yapping as we troubleshoot. My sister says that just to get on my nerves. She's 12. Yeah, I guess it's like a pretty Gen Alpha thing, huh? To go like, what the Sigma? I think it's kind of funny. What the Sigma? Like I'll be laughing when I say it. Yeah, like nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging anyone. It's my own choice of me just going with the frick or like using alternatives. I just bring it up that the child next door cursing is just a surprise because the only time I've ever heard him, I actually hear him. I usually don't even hear words from him, so I don't know the extent of his vocabulary. I just know he's really young based on when I've seen the kid, and all I hear when he does my only time ever hearing him is when he's screaming. And so today was just a special occasion where he's screaming and hurling insults at his parent, I guess. I have no idea. That poor whatever the kid's going through, I hope they're doing okay. It doesn't seem to be connecting to my tablet, even though the screen is working. Thank you for the head pat and hydration. I just hydrated, but I'll hydrate again. Take after my mom and how she's driving because me and my mom both get annoyed at people on the road. I mean, I think it is really annoying. The road is probably the most annoying place to be. People don't know how to drive. It's like one of the reasons why I don't. I don't have my license, and I also never picked up how to drive because I realized I don't want to be on the road because I don't want to share the road with other people. I don't trust other people in the death machines that we call cars. Hold on. I have to like unplug and plug my tablet. Okay. I think we solved the problem. Oh, we did. It wasn't properly plugged in. It was not plugged in. EP bacteria. Yeah, I like that idle animation when it loses my tracking. Okay, let's go back to... Don't worry, I'll still be yapping. I'm just now I can draw while I yap. Driving is kind of necessary where I live. Yeah, I'm not driving. Not drawing. Driving. Driving is kind of necessary. Yeah. I think that's why I would never live in certain areas. Like if it requires a car, you're probably not gonna catch me living there. I am a public transit kind of girl. So like wherever I go, it needs to be a place where public transit is usable. And by usable, it means like it's not taking an hour to go to places that should be like 30 minutes or less. Yeah, I mean, like most places in America, it's not going to be widespread enough. Like we're talking about like the only places I feel like public transit are really big are like there's like a few major cities. You know, I was like highly disappointed when I went to California for like for vacation once, and I would have like thought that like like such that kind of state would have better public transit like in their major cities, but it was pretty bad. I was like, this sucks. And then I crossed like that state off of like where I would potentially want to live. For all the junk I produce, I make myself feel better by saying I use public transit. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do be producing a lot of junk. I was taking out my recycling the other day, and I sometimes am floored at how much plastic I use. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And I try my best to avoid it, but so many things are packaged in single-use plastic. It's so like it's kind of insane. And I guess I should just try my best to avoid it. But sometimes I want the luxury of like cut up mangoes rather than like cutting the mangoes myself. I try my best to like do better by like doing what I can to minimize like in other areas. Like if I'm using a lot of plastic and waste, maybe I try to compost when I can. I use public transit, I walk. I try to avoid delivery when I can. I'd be better off driving. The closest transit to me is driving distance away. I mean, yeah, I've lived in cities like that. I've lived in cities where the bus, it's not that it's far away, but it's just so slow. It takes like an hour to get to a grocery store on the bus. And I'm like, there's just no way that this is worth it. They have overregulated to the point of building. Yeah, that's like another issue. A lot of these places, they are so highly regulated that it's like hard to get public transit built. And I think that, yeah, that's like the case with California. There's also a lot of like, not in my backyard. Like people don't want that kind of stuff in their area. But I like it. I like public transit. I love taking the subway. If you have never taken the subway before in New York City, I assure you it's not that scary. I've met a lot of people who go like, "Oh, I'm always super scared of using the subway." But it's really not that bad. I don't think I've ever had problems with it. That's when my nature rat self saw cut water slices and those meat packing things. I felt disgusted. I'll just say nature rat. I just okay, like I just I don't tr- I just sometimes I'm just like I just want like the fresh. I don't want to cut the fruit myself sometimes. Sometimes I just can't like get the energy to cut the fruit. But then I want fruit. Then I want tropical fruit. Oh, thank you for checking in, Curlotus. You're more in danger while walking the street than in the subway. Yeah, yeah, I honestly, very true. I feel like it's always like a lot more scary just like walking in certain areas than it is to like just be in this train station. Obviously, like you should have some level of awareness. Maybe like Don't just like stare at people like and then not, don't be strange. I literally just like sit in the subway and just have my headphones in with one ear open because you should be mindful of your surroundings. And I've never had any issues. I mean, sometimes it does smell. I'll give people that. Like, it can be sad seeing some people's situations and you go like, "Oh, it's and it stinks." And it really really stinks. I was like recently on the subway and there was like I think like a guy, he was like carrying like a sack of poop, like a sack of his waste onto the train, and it really really stunk. And I mean, I just like moved cars. I don't know. It's just like I don't need to like you don't kick up a fuss. Don't like try to talk to these people and go like what are you doing? I think they clearly know something's wrong. Something is clearly wrong when they're carrying their sack of poop. Also, like, I feel like a lot of people like want to take pictures and videos of like crazy situations to post on the internet and like share like, wow, look at this crazy thing I saw. And it's like, like, I like, yeah, I don't know. I don't. You don't need to share. You don't need to get all. You don't need to like do all that. Just let these people. Let's let these people live their life. Like it might be weird and smelly and gross, but like we don't need to like document all that. Why was Bro carrying his? I don't know. I honestly don't know. He was not like. I think it was like he looked like he was suffering from many like physical and perhaps mental ailments. So who knows why he was doing that? I just like kept it rolling. I was like, well, I don't know what's going on here, so I'm just gonna move to a different different train car. To me, the subway itself doesn't smell, but the underground connection between the bus terminal and the subway still does, dude. Because yeah. That it doesn't like usually smell that bad, but also maybe I'm nose blind. I know everyone always says like it smells like urine. But maybe it does smell a bit uriny. Just just a bit uriny. Anyway, that doesn't stop me from like enjoying the train as my primary transportation. What was that? The smell there is more like fermented fart. Yeah, I guess I could see that, especially if it's like sewer. Like there's people in the train stations. They sell like cut fruit and mangoes and candy. And I can't say I've ever been in the mood to want to buy something like that while I'm at the train station. Maybe like it might be too many assaulting senses for me to want to like get freshly cut fruit. But sometimes the cut mangoes they're selling, that does look really good. But I think I just like mangoes. Why does why does fermented fart sound like some kind of weird candle scent? It does sound like a troll candle. Mm, So aside from that, I have to pack still. My trip is like tomorrow morning, but I haven't packed at all. But I don't think it should be that hard. Like, it's only like a week, like a weekend trip, so it's not like too much to pack. I tend to be quite an overpacker when I go anywhere. I pack way too many things. I don't know why. Like, I feel like I need like 30 pairs of socks just for like 3 days. But my brain's like, you never know. You never know. What if you step in a puddle one day, now your socks are wet, and then you step in a puddle immediately after and your socks are wet again. Mm. So it's time when I finish stream, it's time for me to overpack. And then also I have to decant my skincare stuff. Better to overpack than underpack? I mean, it depends, because sometimes like overpacking, it feels like such a waste, especially if you're like someone that wants to bring stuff back with them. And that's what I need to do. I'm probably gonna go pick up some stuff when I travel, and then I have to like make sure I'm not taking too much with me. It's like, I don't think it's not good to do either. But it's so hard to find the perfect balance of like what to pack. And like I'm like debating if I want to decant my skincare things even. Cause I could just like chuck all the things full products and then just check in my bag. And then it feels like such a waste of money. I hate how expensive checking in a bag is now. I can't believe it's like $35. Why do they not want me to check my bags then? There was like a time when it used to be so cheap. When they were like, yeah, you should just check in your bag. It's so cheap. Cuz I personally hate putting my bag in the overhead. There's like never ever any space. And also, as someone short, it's just hard to put like lifting my bag up and putting it into the air like above me. It's so hard, and it's like awkward to ask like a random person like, "Hey, can you help me?" I always travel with just a backpack, so I don't need to worry. Yeah, I try to do that, but then like it's because I like carry skincare products with me, like whenever I go traveling, and then I have to check them in anyway or decant them, but decanting them is just so annoying. Like you have to decanting like 10 different products to put into your like my little tiny plastic baggie. Then I think maybe I should just go without the products. It's only 3 days, but then my heart hurts. I wonder what skincare products a bacteria would use. We use a lot of fermented products. That looks too spongy. I feel like less and less people are checking bags. Whenever I travel, they always make people check in bags because there isn't enough room. I think it's more like, yeah, it's because it's so expensive. And then because it's so expensive, less people check it in. And like people's bags are way too like, they're way too big usually. There's like no reason a lot of these bags should not be allowed. But they just take up so much space. And the planes just don't have enough space for everyone's bags. They use LB media. No, that's my food. We don't put the food on the face. Maybe I'll just bring sunscreen. forgot the exact name, but the proteins in the membrane, could those get clogged like pores do? Oh, like the receptor. I don't know. I think they could, just because they would. It operates like purely through like osmosis. I think if there was like a defect where it like could get stuck, I think you just like the bacteria just dies. I'm not like an expert. The face and the mouth are the same, are they not? You know, you've got a point. You're not wrong there. I think the number one skincare a bacteria would use is sunscreen, because UV damage is very bad. Very bad. A reminder, if you ever go outside, you put sunscreen on, okay? They're all mouth. Yeah, it's all mouth. Maybe it is just LB Media. Oh, thank you for the follow, Just Walter. Ah, we got 80 followers. Yay! Thank you, guys. Yippee! Hello, hello. Do 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 do. Oh my gosh, he screamed again. The kid next door. I think it's funny. He's like, he has to take a break. He has to take a break because like he has to charge his alt, and then he like recharges, and then he's back to alting. Now he's gonna probably take another break. Lovely arts, thank you! Thank you, thank you. Just doing a little doodling. When you're... I don't have a lot of... I have to, like, print so much art of my own VTuber so I can use it, like, as social media stuff. He didn't curse this time, though, at least. He just, like, he only yelled. The cursing has finished. He's finished. I wonder if Mom is finally, like, going to take care of him. And then I think this hair like this. Perhaps. I'm always impressed of people who draw. Oh yeah, it's like something I think everyone can pick up, but it just takes a lot of time. It's just a lot of work, a lot of like practice you have to get through. And I think for some people, like the part when you're just producing a lot of bad art is like kind of demotivating, which is understandable. I think that's demotivating for like any hobby. When you're bad, when you're bad at something, it usually doesn't feel good. But like the art you produce, it's probably just always, it's gonna be like bad for a while, and then it just, okay, that line was a little too good. And then eventually it slowly goes up, and then it plateaus a bit. I think this part can be very demotivating, which is like the plateau when you start getting, like, you start seeing improvement. It's really hard to like keep pushing past this part. And this is like for anything, really. But these are like the important, this is like the stage where growth really happens, is when you keep pushing. You started your drawing journey today? Oh, that's fantastic to hear. I'm sure you're going to do great if you keep at it. It takes like a lot of the people you see, I think, who draw very well, they've been at it for so long. And I don't like, sometimes that can be like reassuring, or maybe that can also be like not, depending on your perspective, because you might think of it as like, oh man, it's gonna take forever to get to where I want to be. But it can also be reassuring. It's like, oh, I still have a lot of time to be able to get to where I want, like to get to a skill level that I am happy with. I really liked the series that PewDiePie like put out. Like it was like last year or so, where he just like showed off, like he drew every single day for a year. And it was really impressive to see how he went from like really, really beginner sketches to pretty decent, art. I never drew as a kid, and my entire family is amazingly good at it, so wanted to pick up as a hobby. Oh yeah, it's a really fun hobby. Being able to express yourself visually, take the things that are in your head, in your imagination, and then put it into paper or screen, whatever your medium is. It is wonderful. That wasn't much of a transition playlist. I primarily I drew a lot as a kid. Like, a lot. I drew a lot of ugly anime art as a kid. Like, I have things from all the way from like 2005. I have things from all the way from 2005 and even younger than that, but I feel like it's hard to like, it's like literal scribbles when it's before that. And you can see like, it's just like a lot of my older art, it looks like it's like stuff like this. And I was happy with it as a kid. That's how like all my art as like a young teenager kind of looked. We were kind of owning. What if I take what's in my head and put it in LB Media? You might be, whatever you culture through that, I think that might be groundbreaking if you're able to culture something purely through thoughts. That's not just the mold in the air. And now I'm picking my brains out, trying to understand perspective and such. Gotta be able to rotate a cube one day. Oh, like, that's pretty hard to do. Perspective is like a very tricky thing, but I do think it's probably good if you get a handle on that early on. You're like a step ahead of a lot of hobby artists. Even like when I do, like when I have to put like the 3-point perspectives or like in drawings, it's just kind of difficult. I do think like trying to find like good guides on how to draw can help you a lot starting out, rather than drawing just based on vibes only. Even though drawing based on vibes only is very fun. Just depends, I guess, on what your goal is. I just comment on that because I know there's because I like frequent a lot of art subreddits where there's like a lot of uh novice artists. They tend to like, I see them get frustrated a lot because they're like, why can't I do this? Why is my art lacking so much? And you can tell it's because they just have never ever like drawn anything that wasn't like an anime girl that, and because they don't understand like what human anatomy is, they only know, they are just like kind of copying the things that they've seen superficially. It's like clear why they can struggle. I posted a very funny meme on Discord. I'll have to check it out afterwards. I just learned to draw a cube a few hours ago. I was like, oh, aha, when I put that together. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's like the biggest, when I started like taking art more seriously, like as a teenager, it felt like the biggest like, oh, moment when like I started like seeing the things I was envisioning get put together. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like when I finally understood like how to break down a hand, so my hands weren't like, they didn't look like this. I was like, oh, like I see, like I get it now. Like I have to understand like the muscle, so it's not just a vibe shape. Yeah, drawing is fun. It's also very fulfilling. I think it's like, it can be fulfilling if you are working at it and you get to see it and kind of get to see the labor of your products. I see an annoying amount of artists getting frustrated with their progress and are reluctant to use references, even though all teachers would advise using references. Yeah, that's also a big problem. I don't understand where this comes from, but I know I see, this is like with us, a trend I see, especially with like younger new artists. They seem to think references are like tracing or copying, and I'm like, I don't know where you're getting that information from. But then it's just like perpetuates, because then they're like a community of other young artists. They're telling them, oh, you used a reference, you're tracing and copying. Oh, goodbye, Gren. Have a nice nap. References are good. It sucks nowadays. It's hard to get good references because of how much AI slop is on Pinterest, which is like where a lot of people used to get their references for drawing, and it's a lot of, like, it's not very helpful. Sometimes the AI slop is not anatomically correct, and so you're just like learning from something that's incorrect, but you're just too beginner to understand why it's incorrect. Especially when someone hasn't really learned anatomy, structure of stuff. Yeah, like I it's like a controversial thing, but it's really recommended for beginner artists to like reference something, and it's also recommended for beginner artists to even trace. Like, I feel like saying it's okay to trace can be very controversial, but it's nothing controversial about it if you use it as a learning method. The whole controversial aspect of tracing is like when you say, I did this, and you post it online and you don't tell anyone you traced. But if you're just like tracing to understand, oh, this is kind of how it flows. This is kind of like how someone like gets these lines, and like, oh, I understand how the artist is trying to piece things together. It's a really good learning method. You should never like say it's yours though. You just say, oh, this is an art study that I traced using this artist. Or maybe you don't even post it. Sometimes you don't have to post these things. But I know that's also like, I think that might be a difficult thing. Because I think sometimes a lot of these beginner artists that I see on these like subreddits, it's kind of like you can see they are doing art because they really want to get like a social media following of some kind. They see the TikToks and they're like, I want to get the TikTok followers, and they know like TikTok's gonna eat them alive if they say they trace something. The matter of not wanting to use reference to me is that it diminishes the feeling of accomplishment, but I still use references. I'm not against it at all. Yeah, but I think it's fine to like, there's like some artists like have stronger feelings towards this. I don't have that strong a feeling towards it, but a lot of artists I know, they will like, they kind of create the pose they have in their head and just start kind of like bashing together multiple different references. So it's not like they even like just took something directly from one thing and it doesn't feel like they're copying. They like, I took the hand pose of this and then the like body pose of this and then the clothing of this. So it just feels much more brand new. Because I know some artists, maybe they are kind of against like, I don't want to just like take a photo from Instagram and then reference that one-to-one. Is recommended by pros to use references because they also use references. Need a specific pose, take a picture of yourself and use that. Yeah. If you look at my phone gallery, like it's just like there's like a billion pictures of me taking photos of my hand. Because sometimes I'm just like, I don't know like how I want these fingies to look. Or like I don't know how the body needs to stand in a certain way and like what happens to my arm or like legs when I stand in this way. Oh, the kid altered again. I feel like I kind of use that method, but more with poses. I take some cool poses I see people do, try to make my circles and squares line up and doing it perspective. I feel like that's just for me to understand how humans move in perspective and learning those boxes and such. And yeah, that's a great way to learn it. Yeah, it's definitely not. It's great to like you take like to take photos from people and just kind of like go like okay, like that's the photo and you kind of go okay, so that's like the general body and there's like things here and like joints here. Kind of gets you an understanding of like what you want, like how the body is put together. I also use pictures of myself for reference. You yourself is a really good. Yeah, you can just be the reference. I love especially for animation. Like if you ever like see like the behind the scenes of how animators like get certain scenes, it's really cool how like they'll literally just film what they want to see and then they translate it to the animation. I really liked what is it? The behind the scenes of Arcane. They showed like all these like videos of the animators themselves like doing the scenes and then how the scene itself ended up being animated. It's just like, oh, I see. Like this would be really tricky to do if you're just referencing this purely from your brain. Because the perspectives, like your brain has never seen perspectives like that. And why would you want to like make it up? Clip even has 3D model posting. Yeah, I love the 3D model posting. I've been using like as you can see here, I've been using it a lot. I think though I find that like I'm still trying to figure out a way to put this into my workflow better because I find if I reference it to one-to-one, and this is like for anything, referencing it to one-to-one can make your art feel a little stiff and like not in a good way. It's like it doesn't look as good. It doesn't have the motion, which is understandable because it's a still image. I believe a lot of Disney cartoon movies does that. Yeah. It's like a great animation trick. Animating is really hard. Like, I say like use references for like drawing, but you definitely need to use references for animation. Like, trying to like do motion just from the fly of like your brain it's way too difficult. I have a bunch of hand pictures in my camera roll too. I feel called out. No, nothing wrong with the hand pictures in the camera roll. That's just a sign of being an artist. I do like the 3D model. Can I do it? I think I can't do it because of the fact I rasterized it. Yeah, I can't do it. but you can like move the 3D model's fingers really easily on like tablet. I used to not like this, the 3D modeler, because I would only use it like with my mouse, but I didn't realize like how simple it is to move the things around with your tablet pen. Like it's so easy to pose the fingers. But again, you still have to put, like, even when you reference, you still have to put in a lot of work yourself. It does not just come like naturally, a good looking picture. I think that's where a lot of beginner artists like get caught up in. They like become anti-reference because they feel like it's like some kind of cheat code. It's not really a cheat code. It's just like another tool. Oh, I'm hydrating. It's just like, you should use the resources you can use. But then it comes into like, AI can easily like add a wrench to this, because I know some people go like, well, that's a resource too, but there's like ethical issues regarding where that AI generation came from. There's too many resources. That's true. I think some people do like want to feel like extra accomplished by saying like, I barely use any resources. Like, I'm self-taught and I do everything by hand, and like, it's all me. It's all me. I'll get stuck in a tutorial loop. Yeah, that happens to me so often. When I was learning how to put together a VTuber, the VTuber model, I was like stuck in such a big tutorial loop, like where I just kept looking at more and more references because I just wanted to know, like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? How do I do that? And then eventually at one point I had to go like, okay, I need to stop. I need to like put down the tutorials and just do something. And then if I have more questions, I can go look for the information. It's important not to burn tentacles with making a silly cat picture of a cat. Very true. Like, speaking of AI references, I know there was like controversy because there was like a popular like art Twitter meme, like with like a black dress. It's like a sexy black dress, and everyone was drawing like fan art with this black dress, and it turned out to be like an AI generated picture. But then I feel like people were approaching it really wrong because they were like using it as a gotcha. They were like, "Oh, look at you! You're using AI! Ha ha ha! I told you AI! Like, you guys are you artists are such hypocrites! Like, look at you using AI!" Like, I don't know if they're like hypocrites. I think they just did something unknowingly. People should be more aware of where their references are coming from. I don't think it makes them a hypocrite for drawing fan art for what they thought was like a funny little trend. Focused work with an intended goal is the most important thing. I feel like a lot of artists over like, oh yeah, for sure. I think it's really easy to just like end up in like a loop of doing things without any focus whatsoever. And I think it's seen too many people spend months following various tutorials and making basically no progress because they truly aren't engaging mentally with the task. Yeah, of course. I think I was definitely on that path because like I was like watching all these tutorials and I realized like, well, until I do the rigging and like play around with live 2D myself, it's not like this isn't really sticking in my head, you know? And so it really helped when I sat down and said, okay, I am going to do the rigging. And when I come across a problem, I will look up what the solution is. That helped a lot. It also makes like your search of what you want to know a lot more focused, because trying to just absorb all the information for certain like techniques and processes, like there's just too much information. There's too much, and you don't need all of that, or at least not at once. Like I still don't know how to do certain things in live 2D, but it's because I just like literally have not needed them. But I probably, like when I do my 2.0 model, I probably will need to like go do another deep dive on tutorials to answer certain questions. But now I have a much better foundation. I'm going to understand what they're going to do, or what they're telling me to do. It's like if I said, gotcha, I drew this image on a computer that runs on hamster suffering. You are pro hamster suffering. Yeah, it's just, gotchas are just like, so, like, it's just like, so, like, what are you doing? Do you feel good saying gotcha? I guess some people do. It's like that classic comic, the meme comic, where it's like, oh, you criticize society, yet you engage in society? How peculiar. It's like, oh. I think, unfortunately, it can be really hard in present day to find references that are not AI. But for that dress example, it was kind of easy to like if you just like clicked on where the source came from, it literally says AI generated in the profile. But I don't think most people were clicking on where the picture came from. They just saw it on their Twitter. They probably saw the fan art on their Twitter timeline and went, "I want to do that." You think capitalism is bad, yet you buy things? How can you criticize capitalism when you are in capitalism? Got you. Yeah, stuff like that. It's just like we need to evaluate what we're saying here. I think some people just live for the argument, though. It couldn't be me. I don't know how people can spend so much time arguing. So much energy just arguing over nonsense. I'm trying to like find a way to make this ribbon look a little nicer, because the sketch is not aligned with it. I feel like this playlist was kind of like all over the place. Yeah, I feel like there's been like so much drama in the art Twitter spaces, and it's like, can't we just draw the things? Can't we just draw things instead of like calling people out so often? We should argue about the things that really matter. Like, is juice water? Yeah, exactly. We should be arguing about the things that like have substance, like liquid substances, like Is apple juice water? I was really craving apple juice today. I don't really know why. I haven't bought apple juice in so long. But my brain all of a sudden was like, you know what would be really good? You know what would be really, really tasty right now? Like a cup of apple juice. I could not justify buying a bottle of apple juice. Same but with OJ. OJ is also like really, really good. But that's also another juice I feel like I have a hard time justifying. There's an ad break starting in like 5 seconds, by the way. Is hot dog a sandwich? I think hot dog can be considered a sandwich. Isn't that like... It's like bread and meat. A, like, meat sandwiched between bread. I think that... Maybe that's not very sandwich purist of me, though. Is that like chaotic sandwich? I think chaotic sandwich would be like Pop-Tart, I think. Like, if you say Pop-Tart is technically a sandwich because it's ingredient packed between two, like, carbohydrate. It was surprisingly cheap when I went to the store. Oh, interesting. I feel like OJ... I guess it depends on what kind of OJ you buy. I really like the super pulpy OJ. And whenever I see it in the store, it's like kind of expensive. And then it's like a big bottle, and I'm like, oh, do I really want a big bottle of OJ? Pop-Tart is a burrito, but then what's the difference between a burrito and like a sandwich? Is cereal a soup? I think you can say cereal is a soup. Cereal is a liquid with ingredient in it. Is that too loose of a definition? What chaotic thing would that constitute? I feel like I would be pretty okay to say cereal is a soup. I'm just thinking, I'm thinking if that's any problems. If you have 2 cups of water and pour them both into 1 cup, does that mean 1 plus 1 does not always equal 2? Whoa. My brain exploded with that. Is Nico a nerd? I think you could probably objectively say yeah. I think you can objectively say yeah, I'm a nerd. I have been called a nerd. I've gone through the realistic, the not even realistic, almost like high school sitcom levels of comedy of being called a nerd, and like shoved and called a nerd. Yeah, you can call me a nerd, I guess. Sandwich has ingredients poking out in the middle, whilst a burrito envelops completely the ingredients. A taco is a semi-sandwich. You know, I'm not mad at these descriptions. I feel like ingredients poking out in the middle, is that like really a necessity of a sandwich? Because sometimes you have like sub sandwiches and the things don't really poke out. And there's also like, I don't know. I like the idea of calling a Pop-Tart a burrito though. I'm on board with that. I'm more on board with calling a Pop-Tart a burrito than a Pop-Tart a sandwich. Does that mean an Uncrustable is a burrito? But then an Uncrustable is also a sandwich. But I guess it's... You know, Uncrustables are kind of good. Or at least I remember them being good as a kid. Maybe they're not so good now. Maybe it would just be better for me to make my own PB&J sandwich. But, like, reading Uncrustable and then the thought of having one right now without remembering how they actually taste kind of sounds tasty. Maybe it's just the convenience of having a PB&J without putting a PB&J together. I think it is. By poking it, I mean they could fall because they aren't all like that. Like there's no bun adjacent things. IDK, what an uncrustable is? Oh, it's like it's literally like just they took out the crust of a bread of like your white bread, and then they had it's like PB&J and like it's like mushed together. There's no room. There's no space. They're they're just like the breads are completely mushed together. It's like a bun basically. Oh, maybe they're like dumplings. Isn't that like more of a dumpling? Then yeah, it's a burrito. Glad we're on board that. Okay. Is there anything else that's crazy? I guess a Hot Pocket would also be a burrito. Because a Hot Pocket is like a meat Pop Tart. A dumpling is also a good way of describing a burrito. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, dumplings are kind of like burritos in a way. It's like, enveloped, in goods enveloped. It's like a PB&J ravioli. Oh, ravioli. Technically, I guess like a ravioli is also another way to describe that. Wow, there are so many like burrito adjacents. I think ravioli is another thing because you don't cook your burrito. But like, don't you like? I guess grilling a thing. Grilling is a little different than cooking. Because sometimes like you put the burrito onto like a grill pan and like you like warm it up or give the tortilla some like some grill marks. Are humans a burrito? We are enveloped in like a wrapper, and we don't spill out easily. So I guess we are a donut. I need you to explain further why we are a donut. Is it because we have a circle? Oh, you have a belly button or something? A donut sounds really good right now. I haven't had a donut in forever. A hole all the way through. Oh, we do have a hole. That's true. We have a continuous hole, but it kind of feels a little different. It's a bit of a deep hole, but it might be a reach, but I kind of see what you're going. We're a straw. It's kind of a thick straw if you think about it, though. Ew. The thought of a human straw being used just came into my brain. Like I don't even know how I would draw this. Wait, no, it has to be longer because the liquid. Has to be longer for the liquid. So, like, it would be like that. But then who's using us? I can't imagine. Human centipede straw. Yeah, that... It's kind of gross. I'm sure this probably someone is into this. Giant person using the human straw. Kind of the grossest flavored straws. I don't like like those straws that are flavored. Like when I was a kid, they would have like straws that are flavored. I never really liked them. They're kind of gross. Complicated enema regurgitation thing. I think we need more data on how the human straw works. Not a well-researched topic. Scientists still confused about the implications of human straws. I think we do not need more data on that. Oh, I don't know. Might be hard to get funding for that. Getting funding for anything nowadays is too hard. How are we gonna get funding for the human straw experiment? You can't even get funding for like basic science experiments. Actually, I think I was supposed to. I deleted a line, but I don't think I was supposed to delete that line. I, in fact, was not supposed to delete that line. Forget funding that would not pass the ethics boards. You know, I don't know if those are existing in current day in our. Hmm. Stands in front of funding board. Now hear me out. Now hear me out, guys. What if to solve to solve the climate change crisis, instead of paper straws, we just switch to human straws? How did you get? The NIH goes, "Who are you? Why are you in our lab?" Or maybe you kidnap them to talk about this too. It's okay. I don't think the human straw project is going anywhere. I think that one's gonna have to go. That one's closed off. I'm just like looking at all the details that I'm missing, that I forgot to line art. I don't work in a very sense, in like standardized sense. I feel like a lot of people, they go from like, you know, the top to the bottom, but I just kind of like move all over the canvas because my brain just sees something and says, I need to work on that. That was like one of the biggest problems when I was a scientist, is I had a hard time. I had such a hard time like working on protocols like stepwise, and I had to put so many post-it notes around me going, you have to do this first. Stop skipping this step. Do this first. I don't think I was meant to like follow protocols, lab protocols at least. My brain was not, is just not prepared to do stepwise things. Fun curse facts. Sea lions and seals have nails? Do they? Now I want to look it up. Hold on. Where's my cursor? Sea lion nails. Oh, they do. What the heck? We regret to inform you that some seals have nails. Ew. Oh, that's so weird. What a funny, what a funky little guy. And they're ugly. They are really ugly. I don't know what I was expecting when I googled it. I don't know why my brain went towards like thinking that it was gonna be like you know like for some reason like a human set of fingernails. Like I was expecting to see this for a seal. Like I was expecting to see something manicured. Like my brain was like, "Oh, it's gonna be pretty nails." That was not what I saw. I wish I could remove them. No, you you cannot. You don't do not remove them. Though I wish we can make them look prettier. Whales have fingers? Do they have fingers? My like knowledge of like animal biology is not. It's kind of lacking. Now I have to look this too. Whale fingers. Oh wow, they do. They have the whole shebang. Whose hand is this? It's a whale. Fascinating. They're so big. I'm looking at a picture where somebody's like comparing the size of their hand to a whale. It's gigantic. It's like those like romance like things like, oh, your hand, your my hand's so tiny compared to yours, and like the whale's hand is like this. Like, ooh, I'm so tiny compared to your hand. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm trying to see. Whales also have back leg bones, do they? Is their biology that much similar to like? Is that similar to ours? Kind of crazy. Well, not like ours specifically, but like it's much more. It's more human than I would have thought. Where is it? Look at it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the guy comparing. That's the whale hand. I guess, yeah. I guess they are mammals. I kind of forget that. Look how tiny. Look how teeny tiny this man's hand is. And you already know this man's hand is like way bigger than mine. It's so like fascinating to see because just like staring at it, you would just think this like unaware if you were unaware, you would meet like I would think this is just a giant like giant not a whale. Not a whale is what I would think. Very interesting. All man yeah, yeah. It's cuz like my brain can't my brain cannot compute that that's in fact what a whale looks like underneath all their clothing, aka their skin. They're mammals. Sadly, there's no barnacles of the mammal world. The closest there is either the eye or horses. Bat and monkey skeleton are super similar. Oh, fascinating. I'm learning so much about animals right now. Animals are definitely something I like. My knowledge is quite lacking in. I've never been super into like animal biology in general, like or anatomy. Like it's just not. It has never been my forte. Is that why you like bacteria? They're naked all the time. That's true. I do. They're free and freedom. You know, there's nothing hiding them. There's no layers. They're just showing what they've got right close up and personal. Everything came from everything else. Yeah, everything did come from everything else. Isn't life just fascinating? Oh god, I don't know how to draw lace. Do I have a lace button? A lace brush? Do I have my shortcut brushes so I don't have to draw lace? No, I didn't download any of these. Okay, to go back on like an art topic, I think sometimes there's like so many cool brushes you can use that take out a lot of the work, like tedious work, like drawing lace yourself. And I don't think it's cheating, but I know a lot of people do think it's cheating, but I don't like drawing lace, so you know, I will continue to use lace brushes when I have them. I wish I could show my organs. It'd be fun to compare with my friends like, ooh, look, my heart is higher up. I've thought the same thing. I've always thought like it's such a shame like I can't see the inner workings of my body. Like I want to see what's going on. I want to see like everything inside of me. And then go like, look at this. It's a shame we can't turn on like a transparent setting and go like, look guys. Like, you know how like the old like 2000s technology, there was like a lot of the things like had like a transparent skin. Like you can have like a Game Boy and it was like transparent and you can see like all the components. I want like a setting like that for humans. I want to go like, look. It would probably be horrifying, but then you just get used to it. Comparing Earth life to a hypothetical life always a super interesting thought experience. Yeah, it is really fascinating. I feel like I would low-key be disgusted if I could see my own insides. I think it would be disgusting, but then, you know, if it was normal, you'd just get used to it. And it would just be like the same of like looking at like, I don't know, like looking at the acne on your skin or something. It would just be me going, look guys, look at my kidney functioning. I could stare at my GI tract and go, why are you giving me problems? If you could transfer, you'd probably go to the doctor more. Very true. It would be very, though, there could also be potential problems with that, because maybe people, they would just notice some changes and it's not actually like a big, it's not really enough to warrant any like like, you know, going to a doctor. I know like sometimes I've seen dermatologists talking about like people are very like aware of their moles and like they'll go to the dermatologist because they see a random mole and they go like, no, that's just a mole, sweetie, not cancer. I'm not sure if like the average person would be like knowledgeable enough to like point out like, oh, when something is like fishy. But then like maybe that would be okay. Like maybe that would also be like a cultural shift where people are more aware, acutely aware of what's wrong with them. Hypochondria, yeah, like that. There's actually like I saw like a paper talking about how, you know, if you go get MRIs too frequently, you're actually increasing your risk of like, you know, like cancer risk and other conditions, which is not surprising. Getting MRI, like that's a lot for your body. But it's a lot of times these are like rich people who are just trying to take care, like they're so rich and they want to take care of their health, and so they get to like, you know, access to private clinics that can give them the MRIs, like preventative screening MRIs. And it actually doesn't do much. It actually causes more harm than good. So there's definitely like a balance. Am I like on a different layer? Yes, I am. I didn't like it. Also, doctors will be able to know how more different phenotypes work. There's a big problem with anatomy textbook where they don't show any variation in anatomy. So when someone has some wonky anatomy, most of the time doctors, yeah, that is a really big problem. And there's like no way to really understand that kind of stuff, understand like the different phenotypes until like it's way too late. And then when after the patient passes, that it might not be actually that relevant. We need to like capture the phenotypical data before, you know, the patient passes. Have you ever seen the inside of an MRI or CAT scan machine? I've never been in an MRI or CAT scan machine, but I've seen like pictures and videos of it. It's really neat. They're kind of like, those machines are so powerful. They're kind of crazy. And walk it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it sucks a lot of our information, like biological information. There's a clear standard that they look at, they have as a reference, and that standard is not accurate for a lot of cultural deviations, cultural and like yeah, non-white, cisgender, non-intersex. Yep, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's our current level of anatomy and physiology is very lacking. Mind if I post on YouTube a short without the covering? Oh yeah, hold on. Like maybe. Yeah, you should be able to do it. Let's see. I'm trying to see if it's okay. I figured it was gonna do that. Oh, stupid Nightbot. I'm trying to mod logs. Okay. Well, I saw it, but I'm trying. It's too much work to go find it. I'm getting bonked for no reason. Hi, Beppo. Hello. Hello. I hope you're having a good week, Beppo, and everyone watching and lurking. MRI stands for magnetic resolution imaging. It does, in fact, stand for that. Oh, hydration. I can do that. It's actually so hot today that like I'm already running out of water because I keep like whenever I take a drink, it's like a big sip. It doesn't feel like there was much of a spring here. It already feels way too hot. Hydrate or dihydrate. Exactly. Everyone hydrate. Not just me. I want you to hydrate too. I Drink your water, guys. Drink your water. Your water. Drink your water. Your water. Is this another... Are you another person that doesn't believe in water? We have like a bunch of those in our chat. No bleach? No, 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 not the bleach. No, don't drink the bleach. No, not the bleach. I haven't. Not water. Oh no, no water. No water. No bleach. No bleach. No ethanol. Just water. No, no bleaches. Dihydrogen monoxide. Yes. Yes, yes. I always like that joke of like, you know, you go like, when I was like a kid, when I first learned chemistry, I was like, I love dihydrogen monoxide. I don't know, something about calling water that really tickled my like my little kid brain who was just learning science. The mega solvent and rustifier. Yeah, I love when people frame, like, you can frame water as this super evil compound. Oh, my PC was having was not happy right there. What if I'm one hydrogen short on that? Should I still drink? No. No. I recommend you get the other hydrogen right now. Just grab another hydrogen atom. I don't know, just through in the air, maybe. Just grab it. Rocket fuel? No. No. Yeah, like oxygen is super corrosive. It's always fun to see that because there's like such a... It's like a pet peeve of mine when there's trends where people go like, look at the stuff on this ingredient list. You can't even pronounce it. And they're like talking about like, it's like acids, like acetic acids and stuff. It's like, buddy, that's just like vinegar. It's just so annoying. It's the worst kind of fear mongering. What if I have some leftover oxygen? No, no, I don't. No, no, no H2O2. You know, it's hydrogen peroxide's not the worst, I guess. This playlist is gonna end soon. I got a tub of acid. You've got a tub of acid? Of what kind of acid? I feel like this can go many ways, your tub of acid. Fun fact, heavy water deuterium is... Yeah, I have heard that. I cannot, like, confirm, like, I have no anecdotes of, like, ever doing, like, drinking it. But I've always wanted to try it after hearing people say, like, it's slightly sweet. I'm like, I want to know how it tastes. I know that's not very lab safety of me to drink it. It's not very, not good to... But I just can't help but think, like, what does it taste like? I want to know. It's probably not as sweet as I'm imagining it. It's like I know I'm going to be deep. It's like if I were to try it, I would be deeply disappointed because my brain is making it feel like it's gonna be like fruit juice. Used to clean up rust of metal. Ah, I see. There's a funny YouTube video where an alien make a warning video. They breathe highly. I think I've seen that video. It's true. We do breathe. We do breathe something that's very corrosive and flammable and kind of dangerous in high quantities and high concentration. Is water and salt the corpses of bases and acids that were in love? It's a very like poetic way to frame that. Yeah, they are. You know, chemistry can be romantic. Like, think about like organic chemistry. It's a lot of giving and taking, just like a relationship. There's even like toxic relationships where it's just a lot of taking, no giving. And they can also be very long and useless. Yeah. Oh, the hydrocarbon, just so long. Incredibly long. My favorite part of organic chemistry was just drawing the compounds. I think they were kind of fun to go OH. And give them some of these. Or some of these. They're just that was just the extent of my like chemical knowledge. I forgot, how do you draw the is it like it's so much work. I was so bad at I was so bad at organic chemistry. That was probably the class. No, that's a lie. This was not. This is not the class I struggled the most in, but it was really, really hard. And then you do some of those and some of these. I don't know why aromatic rings are called hat. I don't know either. I don't really understand like where the names came from for some of these things. What was the class you struggled the most in? I struggled the most in physical chemistry, and that was like a requirement for my major, biochemistry. And was it physical chemistry I struggled in most? I'm trying to think. I'm like comparing how bad it's like a battle between physical chemistry and inorganic chemistry. I think it was inorganic chemistry, because technically I think the curve in P-Chem, and it was like I had to work harder because other people were doing well, so I surely didn't struggle as much in that. And there's also a lab component, and the lab component kind of carried my grade. Even though I hated the physical chemistry lab component, it was a lot of like, it was like an analytical chemistry lab, and it was so annoying. It was like about getting like really accurate results and like making sure you're doing, you know, your sig figs are all clean and blah blah blah. It was rough. I didn't like it. But inorganic chemistry was just like a class where we had to learn a lot. The professor, he gave us like a giant box of inorganic reactions, and it just had like a whole, like it was like 100 plus flashcards. And I just wanted to draw a reaction for you, but I like can't even remember a single one. But the exams were like, you had to just like memorize like 50 of the reactions, and then the tests were just like, what's this? What's the product of this? What was used to get this product? And I just sucked so bad at that class. Like there was nothing, there was like no way for me to understand what was going on. I felt like I was just so lost. I've never felt so lost in a class. I don't even know what I learned in that class, I'll be honest. Anyway, I was not alone at sucking at that class though, because I think I would get a 25, literally a 25 on these exams. I only got like 1/4 of the questions right, and the curve was good enough where that was like a 80. I don't know. I think that professor just sucked. Like there's no way that this should ever be a thing where you're 1/4 means you're like doing above average. Like let me look up a reaction. Inorganic. I wonder if I can find the flashcards. Oh, what was the specific? What was that specific flashcard thing? Anyway, I can't find it. But my goodness, that was the worst class of all time. Also, probably the most useless. I think at least I can make fun, like, I can kind of understand organic chemistry, and there's some times when I go like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about because I took organic chemistry, but yeah, I don't know anything about inorganic chemistry. Sorry, buddy. You want cool chemical reactions in a high saturated environment like in deep sea subs? I'm trying. Is there any other class that felt particularly bad? No, not really. Not really. Just math. I didn't like math class at all. That's not a surprise after, like, I've talked extensively about how bad I am at math. I think I was also bad at that inorganic chemistry class because you're supposed to study it similar to how you study a math class, which was like go through the flashcards and write down the reactions and practice and understand why the reactions are that way. But I just didn't. I don't know. It did not click in my brain. Maths are for nerds. Yeah, I don't think I could say. I'm not. I don't think I'm allowed to say that as a nerd. But it's for a special kind of nerd that I am not. Honestly, I wish I understood math better. I think there's some cool mathematical concepts out there. But my brain lacks that foundation to even understand what's going on. I think I really struggled in physics too. But I think that was because I didn't have physics in high school. And so when I went to my first undergrad physics class, I feel like everyone knew what like velocity and like all those basic equations were, and I was like, what's that? Best math is oh. I feel like I kind of like enjoyed calculus for a bit. I think the early classes of calculus were kind of fun, but I think that was because it was like easy. But the moment it started getting into like harder things or like things that required me to like understand more, I was just like checked out. But yeah, you asked me to do a derivative, I can do that. You asked me to do like a something with graph and area though, I will like I'm checked out. Okay. You want me to find the area under a graph? I don't know, something about like that section when I took that in my calculus class, like I was so lost. Something didn't click with me and graphs. A cutie pie. I can read that because I know enough math to understand. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of pie, there was like was it my undergrad? I think it was. I'm pretty sure maybe this was even all my schools. There was like a pie pie competition, and people would go and recite pie, and I would like stand there with my slice of free pie that the event is giving us, and they would just recite pie for like they would recite so many numbers of pie, and I would just kind of go like, wow, that's crazy, and then I'd eat my like free cherry pie. I was like, that couldn't be me. They're I guess it's like, surely it's just like memorization. I don't think there's much more to it. Like I don't know if they're super like intelligent compared to me, but maybe they are because they can memorize so much. But well, I noticed I would see the same people every year, so maybe it's because they keep doing these events. Fun fact: Pi Day is on March 14th. My calc teacher brings us pie every day. Yeah, that was my favorite. I loved that when I was in school. I just loved I loved Pi Day because that meant like I can find free pie somewhere on campus. And this like carried on from undergrad to grad schools. I did workout, carrying groceries up 4 stair flights. Oh my gosh, congrats. I hate I absolutely can't stand bringing my groceries up flights of stairs. I'm so like baby. I get so winded and I'm like I need to take a break. Groceries are tough work. I like being strong girl. I'm trying to be strong girl. I've been like doing more strength training as of late. Because usually my exercise routine is typically like cardio, but I've been trying to do like strength training and it's hard. I feel like I can do like 10 minutes of strength training and then I go, it's so painful. It's so hard to lift the things up and then put them down. Who did this? Who created this form of torture? Although I'm not fit, I'm still strong. I wish I was strong. Yeah, I'm small. A small girl. I'll be strong one day if I just keep up. I keep up the exercise. I have to go to the gym actually after this. I gotta go to the gym and pack. I got too many responsibilities. I guess that means I probably can't stream much longer than 2 hours today. I have too many things to do. If I do, I feel like my brain operates at like a level of I have like tokens of responsibilities. Like I guess this is like the spoons thing. Like if you've ever heard the spoons metaphor, it's like I have like 3 tokens today. And like streaming took 1 token, and then packing's gonna take the other token, and then exercise gonna take the 3rd token, and then I'm probably not gonna do anything for the rest of the day. I'm gonna be all out of my tokens. But I also need to I guess I'll edit some videos while I'm at the airport or something, because I need to like make some before I leave so I can put them in my scheduler. So you guys don't forget about me, because I'm gonna be gone all weekend. You have to hey, don't forget about me. have 2 tokens and gotta do 4 stuff every day, basically. Yeah, I think so. We all have different tokens, and even like I feel like I have different. My tokens, my token maximum is different just every day. Some days feel like I have like 20 tokens, and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing laundry, I'm making dinner, I'm going to the gym, I'm streaming, I'm gonna take a walk, I'm gonna take out the trash, I'm gonna clean my house. And then some days I'm like, I'm going to do one thing, and then I'm gonna go play video games all day. And then like sometimes work can be like multiple tokens, or it can be like no tokens. Sometimes my work is just very easy. This week I definitely slacked at work. I feel like, you know, like when you know there's gonna be a vacation, like you only have a half week, and it feels like I'm not gonna get anything done anyway this week, and so you just end up not doing too much. So I guess some people, they also like they're like, I don't have much time, so I'm gonna do everything. But I am not. I am not like that. I don't like getting too like stuck in projects if I know I'm gonna have to stop midway through. I think the line art's mostly done, except the glasses. I guess I should draw the glasses. I guess I should draw glasses. You know, glasses are like were like the most annoying thing to rig. I didn't realize how annoying it would be to rig glasses onto a model, but I learned that's probably why a lot of VTuber models they don't wear glasses normally. It's like an asset. That's like a little too comically big. I also don't like how the perfect circle, even though they are supposed to be circles. And what if I just draw the glasses later? What if I just draw the glasses later and I just do a little bit of coloring while we wind down? While we wind down the stream, because I'll probably be ending in a bit. We're just gonna color. I lost the shiny Corvus Squire to a zombie. Oh no! Not your shiny! How'd that happen? Also, I don't like this. I don't like this pen for... I don't like this pen. Speaking of Pokemon, I've been playing more of the modded Emerald Pokemon. I've been playing Run and Bun. Like I play like an hour before I go to sleep, and I made it past the first gym. And I was really proud of myself. And then I died like immediately after. That's way too... It's like the wrong color. I AFK'd and the zombie killed me. Ah. This modded Pokemon is just so hard. I feel like I definitely do better. Like, I finally beat the first gym because as I was falling asleep, I would have my laptop open and I would open up the documentation to go, okay, this is what the next trainer has. So let me actually prepare my team for that, rather than going into the encounters blind. But you know, now that I beat the first gym, surely next time, today when I go play it before I go to sleep, it's not gonna be so bad. Surely I'll make it again to that point, and I won't die to the stupid trainers on the beach again. I keep dying there. That's been like a like a common area where my runs just get reset. There's like a trainer there with like a Smoochum and a Elekid and a Magby. And that Smoochum like feels like it gets my team every time. You have a favorite Pokemon? I don't really have a favorite Pokemon. I really like Skuntank. I have a skunk tank sweater. I don't know. I think it's because I like skunks. I think skunks are really cute. It's not a very good Pokemon though. I like how like fat the skunk tank looks, and he's like kind of chunk. He's like just a chunky little skunk. The butt Pokemon. I do like some of the Pokemon. I feel like also I'm not super caught up in like the Pokemon of the last gen. I feel like my Pokemon knowledge there is lacking. The latest gen, I should say. It's anyway. If it's like a Pokemon that's kind of cute, I probably will like it. I also really like Chandelure. Chandelure is really cute too. I should make like a Pokemon team for myself. I think it'd be fun. Necoplasm Pokemon team, like thematic. Like surely I would like have a Solosis. One of my favorite non-books are Morel and Lampent. Oh yeah, those are also really cute. I guess it wouldn't be Solosis. I would probably want evolved form. Reuniclus, whatever. Reuniclus. Because I've only really been playing this Pokemon modded Nuzlocke and I keep resetting at like the beginning, I feel like I have like deep connections towards all the beginning Pokemon that you see in this mod. So like I'm like, ah yes, my favorite Pokemon, Weedle. I love Weedle. Pokemon that exist outside of the routes that I keep resetting on, they don't exist to me. But then there are some Pokemon I feel like nowadays, like because of the mod, I definitely feel like I feel less. I'm not as big of a fan of them because when I get them, I'm like, oh, darn, that means I didn't get this Pokemon instead. So, you know, the effects of a Nuzlocke on the brain. Okay, I'm just gonna clean up the hair, and then we're probably going to end because it's time for me to face the consequences of my action. It's time to reap what I sowed, which is not packing until like last minute. Thankfully, I did laundry. You know, that's usually another problem I have is like I gotta pack and then I realize I didn't do laundry and then I have no clothes to pack and then it's all downhill and then I have to do laundry and then now I took a token away because I did laundry and then it's a nightmare situation. It's a disaster. But I am smart. I'm a smart girl and did laundry. I even made dinner. I made dinner earlier today, so that's another thing I don't have to worry about. We're kind of like owning responsibility-wise. I should take my like iPad with me. I'm not gonna have access to my Clip Studio Paint, which sucks. So I can't really work on a lot of the things I am working on in the back. But I can do some probably small things with the iPad. I guess that is where the iPad kind of shines compared to the big tablet. Can't take the big tablet with me. I mean, you technically can, but such a hassle. There's no way I'm taking the big tablet and a PC just for, well, I guess I wouldn't need a PC. I can do it to my laptop. There's no way I'm taking the big tablet with me on a trip for 3 days. That seems a little insano. And also very inconvenient, and also the idea of that makes me angry. Upset. Okay, I think I got most of the hair, like, cleaned up. There's, like, some spots I need to fix still. It's looking cute. It's looking cute. Okay. My gosh. The kid, he did it. He did one final ult. He really, like, saved up his energy for, like, an hour, like, 30 minutes. And he ulted one last time. It's 8 p.m. Like, I don't know why he's ulting at 8 p.m. I guess things still aren't solved. Looks like it's an evening where I should put my headphones on and ignore the child. Ignore child screaming. You know, I feel like people that get, like, really angry about, like, children, like, screaming in an apartment. Like, I get it, it's really annoying. And it's, like, frustrating. And, you know, you do, like, it's just kind of like, it's things you have to put up with when you are in an apartment. When you are sharing a space. Especially, like, with poor walls construction. Not much you can do there. Maybe you can complain, like, it's upsetting that buildings are constructed so poorly that I have to hear a child scream every 30 minutes. You know, I feel like my life goes on. He screams for like 5 minutes and then that's it. Okay, I feel like this playlist just had a lot of looping. I'm not a fan of this playlist, and I'm going to not use it next time. Okay. Okay, I think that's about all I want to do. There's not much else. The color is going to take way too long. I mean, to do the base coloring, it's too much work. Too much work for today. I would have liked to stream a little bit longer, but because I have other things I need to accomplish today, I think 2 hours is about what I can do before any longer, and it's going to feel like I'm shirking the responsibilities, and it's gonna like there's a monster growing behind me which is just the monster of adult responsibilities. He's an ever-growing presence. And so I'm gonna go tackle that beast right now. Anyway, again, I won't be here for the rest of the week. I'll be back Monday. I'll have like a cat. I don't know if it'll be a long stream because usually I'm pretty tired on Mondays, and I'll probably be tired after traveling. But we'll probably have like a short catch up stream on Monday just to yap together. Maybe another drawing and yap, or it could just be yapping. I don't know. But we'll see. I'll keep it updated on my Discord and Twitter. And I'll also put the schedule on Twitch schedule thing whenever I get an idea of what I want to do. Anyway, I will be seeing you guys next week then. I hope you enjoyed hanging out today. Thank you for hanging out with the lurkers and the people who chatted. I don't think I have anyone I want to raid today. I don't see anyone on my following list. So we're probably just gonna end no raid. Anyway, I'll catch you guys on Monday. And we'll yap again. Yap and draw. Maybe this will be done before I go. I might, like, if I have the tokens, my physical, mental tokens to finish this, I'll do that. I will hydrate one last time. And goodbye, Kantosho. Goodbye, Curlotus. I'll see you guys. Bye 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 bye.